So now we're on the third step of our emotional eating solutions, and this is one of the most important steps. So emotional eating solutions, we're going to talk about the emotional part. And that is one of the most important parts because it can really go unnoticed, and when you're overeating, it's the part that we don't necessarily pay attention. So I'm going to help you figure out how to pay attention to it. So the way I look at it is, first let me check and make sure I'm in the right room. So anybody overeat in here? I'm in the right spot. Okay, good. I feel good. My people. So what I want to talk about is how we go and overeat and not really know how come it's going on and what's going on inside of us. So the way I look at it is there are emotions going on that you don't know about, that you're not necessarily in touch with, and that can be sadness, anger, boredom. Boredom's a big one, and loneliness. What else? Fear. Those are often things that go into overeating. And so we have that feeling, and then we have the situation of, we have the feeling, then we have the situation of overeating. And what happens is we overeat. It feels good at that point in time, right? There's no problems. The problem comes over here when we have the feelings of what? Guilt, stress, anger, confusion, shame, right? But we have that feeling, but we have these feelings too, right? We have these feelings of upset, sad, lonely. These feelings of shame, anger, guilt. So you have compounding feelings, which then leads to the next time that you have the starting feelings, overeating again, and the ending feelings. So what happens is it compounds upon itself and makes the feelings bigger and bigger, which makes the overeating happen more and more often. And what happens is we don't necessarily know that these feelings are going on in the first place. I'm going to give you an example. Anybody in their work situation have this kind of thing where at the afternoon, you do stress eating? I'm stressed, I'm going to go get something to eat, right? Anybody want to go? So what would happen is every day in my job at 3 o'clock, I would go get the sweet treat and coffee. Not a sweet coffee, but it was coffee. And it was every day. And I realized over time that it was actually making me not feel good, increasing weight a little bit. It was actually interfering in my evening because I wouldn't be hungry for dinner till 8 o'clock, right? I had my big sweet treat, my coffee, 3 o'clock. I'm not hungry till a lot later. And it was messing up my eating pattern. So what happened is once I began to reflect on, so Kim, you're going every day at 3 o'clock to get this sweet treat. It was actually the same exact sweet treat every day. And coffee, and you're then not hungry at nighttime. What's going on? And I started to do some reflection. And what I noticed is that the feelings that were coming up in me were anger, sadness, frustration. I wasn't enjoying my job. So that 3 o'clock time period was that, that end stretch? You know what I'm saying? Like right before you get to the end of the day where you go, oh my God, how am I going to make it through the end of the day? Right? And so I would do that in order to make it to the end of the day. The problem was the eating felt good for that moment, but it never helped me deal with the feelings of why I was eating, right? And then I had all these negative reactions to the eating. So the tip I want to give you today about one strategy to work on emotional eating would be to notice it, right, when it's here, and name it. In the process of noticing it, saying, ooh, how, and it's asking the question, what's going on? I'm noticing that I'm overeating, right? In my situation at 3 o'clock is like, well, Kim, so what's up? You're wanting to overeat, or you're wanting to go eat this sweet thing. It's really not going to do you any good, doesn't feel good inside. And asking myself, what was going on? And then as I had that conversation, I could say, oh, this is what's going on. I don't like this, I don't like this, I'm mad about this, I don't like this. Well, then I could deal with it because I noticed it, I named it, and then I had something I could do about it, which would be leave the job because it wasn't quite working for me. That is my one strategy for ending emotional eating. There are lots of other ones, and I look forward to talking to you more about it. Yeah?